There we go. I think that should be okay enough. At least I hope. Actually, do this real quick while I some time to kill for it. There, cool. Season supposed to do my lemonade for work in the morning. So damn. Right, bro. Brains are dumb. I kind of feel you with that. Mine's a little meh now at this point because it's just been hot as fuck. Buggy, but I was out doing some shit. Got done. Did some stuff here. So we're just chilling. We're in the chill out part of the day slash evening. The only thing is laundry, but Logan has his his bin right there and hasn't taken it out, so I don't know what he's doing. Because I was thinking I could just do it after he's done, and then yeah. But I guess that's not the case though, so I'll just do it tomorrow. Actually, I kind of can't because I need shorts for swimming. I kind of need that actually. I guess I could just shift them out of my dirty clothes pile. It wouldn't be that big of a deal, I guess. Talking the Devil's Armpit MC. What it do, what it do. Where it is, yeah, pretty oof. I need that somewheres. There we go. What did I do to... I guess there's this big fat fuck. Got this big bag. Little bastard. There we go. Oh, come on, bitch. There we go. Because the way I overslept today, I said fucking went so with all evening. Oh, nice. So you're just kind of having a procrastination day too. Everyone's having that today, I guess. Everyone's just in that mood now. Besides me and Logan, basically. My procrastination will be tomorrow, where we'll be doing all the rafting. I guess that won't technically be procrastination, but you know. But when it's nice in Portland, it's chilly in Seattle, lol. I would like it to be chilly though. Kinda. Well, I'm trying to be nice about it. Be like, kind of or not. I don't know. I don't know what like people are ultimately doing. Obviously, it seems like a bit of a mix with some people, and for others, not so much. I don't know what you want. What you want from me? Went to bed before 2, woke up at 5, couldn't get back to sleep till 9. Damn. That's a oof. It's hellish in Portland. It's pleasant here. Well, yeah, it's kind of hellish a little bit. It's just dry and kind of muggy, and I just wish that there'd be at least a breeze. But there isn't any breeze, so that sucks. A lot of bag of dicks. Woke up at 1, again at 1, rolling around, gasping for air, swallowed the damn pillow. What, are you Kirby now? Damn. Said fucking with God Burrito. With Selwood. Nice. At least it seems like a decent little day to hang out in the sun and shit. Hang out by the river in Selwood. That reminds me, I need to eat a bag of dicks again soon. Damn good burgers. Wait, is that actually a place called Bag of Dicks? Did get some good swimming in? Hell yeah. I can't wait for tomorrow because I'm definitely going to get some swimming down. Lol, Wahatz loves dicks. I definitely got to go there. And honestly, I might even just get a shirt. Dick's Burgers all over the place here. Well, I'm off to go get me some dicks. See, I wish, we had somewhere like that so we could do that. Tried to go once, but the line was too long. Ah, damn. Yeah, that's kind of a shitty spot, shitty thing about some spots where it's, like, really popular because, those places might lose customers just, on the virtue of, like, yeah, there's just too long of a line. His friend Nick was in a rush. Damn. Makes it even worse when you got a homeboy that's in a rush and it's like you can't at least try to huff it out and wait, even if it's for like a to go. All Portland has Voodoo Donut and they're not even that great. Yeah, they're Union Busters. They're that too, so. Even Krispy Kreme is better. You have Burgerville. Dude, that's like a national chain. I don't count that. That don't count. That and also we got what's it called? I forgot exactly what it is, but there's like a 24-hour like burger and shake place that's actually really fucking good. You communism what? Thoughts on working strikes? I think they're, good. A tool used for workers, when, a contract isn't being abided by or there's a stalling on a contract. Burgerville's P&W only, not national. Really? Did it like shrink down or some shit? Because honestly, I still don't really count it. It's just, ugh. I don't really like it that much. Or you're a communist. There we go. No. I'm a leftist, but not a communist. You're thinking of Burger King? Well, I know Burger King's national. They're like international. I don't know. I just thought, for I guess this whole time that fucking whatchamacallit, that shit was just straight up fucking like a national place. But oh well, guess not. Do you live in Chicago? No, but I've been there before. The milkshakes are S tier, boo bitch. I haven't had their shakes in forever. I mean, honestly, like I'm only remembering it from like from childhood / like teenage years with Burgerville, and honestly, every time I've had it, I've never been impressed. I don't know. Maybe I just never went to the right locations. Maybe I just have to go to the right location or something. Live in Chicago, South Side. I mean, Chicago, Oregon. I mean, we could just keep going with that joke. Are you good enough for heaven? Are you good enough to spell correctly? And also, like, there ain't no heaven there, bro. So, yeah, I'm definitely good for it. Totally. 100%. Their location has been very consistent in my experience. Probably just don't like it, lol. I don't know. Dude, again, it's like, I mean, I haven't had it in for literally like in forever. Like maybe like 15 plus years. It's been a long, long time since I've had a Burgerville, my guy. So, I mean, I can't really necessarily, say that it's like a strong opinion. I just remember, as a kid, basically just not really being a fan of it. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I can go to, maybe I'll find one and actually be like, all right, so that's pretty legit. Now I'm older and whatever. My palate has changed a bit. Maybe I actually like it. I mean, one thing I do remember though about them was that they oversauced the shit out of their burgers. So their buns, like when you brought it back home, their buns would be soggy because they would just oversauce the shit out of them, like with ketchup or mustard or something. Chicago, Oregon is a budding metropolis near in the here of the industrialist illustrious region of national and social beauty. That is true. Transfer the trust from yourself to the Savior. No, that sounds like kind of an underlying threat, bro. I know. And by the way, I'm pretty sure Jesus himself will not be approving of this whole idea of, going around on random people and just prodding this, unconditionally. It's not a threat, it's a promise. Oh, like that's supposed to make it better. So it's a promise that I'm pretty much, going to be tortured for all eternity, if I don't accept this, supposed thing that can't be proven, nor be, falsifiably, proven, at least when it comes to evidence, presented. Yeah, better music taste. Oh, Satan. Yeah. And also, when he did bet with God, he wasn't overtly trying to torture a motherfucker. Like, with Job. Which also, isn't it kind of a sin for God himself to kind of be like, yeah, nah, I'm going to purposely fuck with this guy just to prove a point? Definitely sounds like a good, righteous God. Better get used to BSM. I'm already into it. Like, all those kinky leather, Satan demon bitches are all going to be there for me, bro. God don't care if we kill, it's in our nature. He literally commanded Abraham to try to kill his kid just to test his faith. God, I think, is absolutely fine with the death of people and murder. In fact, there's plenty of times where God commands it. So, yeah, God is totally okay with killing people. Can you shine light apart from the sun? Uh, it's called light photons, that travel through space from our sun, that's produced from the sun, reflecting off the moon. Like, doesn't Potter have power over the clay? Oh, the old toolmaker, the watchmaker argument. Well, there obviously has to have, like, a watchmaker to make the watch, right? Well, God then. I know the fucking argument, bro. That's the most easily debunked thing ever. That's like one of the oldest tricks of the book, bro. Doesn't perfect creator have a right to do what he wills of his own fallen creation? Mm, arguably, no. If they're, if they have some basic sense of ethic and morals. Hey, chunk. Hey, Vito. Big ol' floofs. Glitter's username. That was a mutual in Phoebe's community and ours. And they're from Germany and a furry and they're cool as fuck, so. mankind is moral to the core. Nah. There are people that can be, but mankind in itself is a lot more complex than that. And arguably, that sounds more kind of like a projection. Maybe to your core, you need a particular value to help guide your own sense of moral compass, but I don't need that. How many licks does it take to get in the middle of a Tootsie Pop? Or 1, 2, and a 3. As a kid, I unironically did try that once, but I just literally bit so hard on it, I did just crushed it. So I was like, I guess you kind of can if you just like force your way to it. Self-willed and self-righteous. Yeah, that's definitely a lot of projection, my dude. Those things can be taught to people, but I'm pretty sure like a human being isn't inherently, born just being inherently selfish. Besides, biologically we need to because we can't survive without, parents. Even up to a certain point, like even if you are able to kind of like cook your own food and this and that, like 8 years old or some shit. I mean, you still can't really just live on your own. At least not in a healthy way. I don't need a space dive, threat, and eternal torture just for me to be a decent person. If you need that, I mean, at the very least, I'd be questioning their overall judgment because, like, so let's say it's absolutely proven there is no God. Then what? Is your whole ideas of moral, claim now just out the window? And you're like, well, I could just rape and murder as I please now, I guess. Like, because that really is somewhat what it implies. Just saying. Oh no, here comes scripture. I can do it too. I got a Bible myself, despite being an anti-theist. Chat rules are ignorant. They can be enforced at this point. I'm just saying. I mean, they're there in the implied that inspectors can enforce that will. I mean, the order, doesn't necessarily. That was kind of an ambush out of nowhere. I was like, whoa. He just kind of was just right there. He went ninja mode like I do.
Scream for me, stream. Scream for me.
You do know your laundry bin at the bottom is basically like collapsed?
No. Not my fault.
Oh, let me know when you're all done with that, because I'm thinking I'll do mine too, and once you're done. Tired of Bible thumpers. Well, I'm in the live chat while laying in bed with my boyfriend. That sounds like an awesome cuddly time. But yeah, I'm also tired of Bible thumpers, because it's just like, I'm old to hash it out for a bit, but I will get bored very quickly, and I'm just going to be like, alright, I'm done with it. Especially once the scriptures start popping up, I'm like, that's not going to do nothing to change my mind. Besides, like, I can do it too. And frankly, I ain't no goddamn mood to do it. Because plus I have to get up, go grab it from the other room where it's at right now, and then come back in here, and then find some shit myself that would definitely contradict what this guy does, because it's not that hard to do. And frankly, it's just easy to cherry pick and analyze in your own interpretation out of the Bible. It's literally designed and meant for that, basically. Really, any religious scripture to an extent is like that. Past life of prophet has its benefits. Yeah, definitely can. Huh? I just like always bring back to that, like that old rule of when it comes to cults and religion, like organized religion are just cults that their leaders and their prophets died, and then the movement kept going with the underlings and the shepherds, so to speak, that spread their word. It's pretty much the main difference. Like Scientology, they're a religion because L. Ron Hubbard has passed away now, being a fucking pill popping crazy psycho. Avoiding taxes and shit. He literally made that cult on the virtue of tax avoidance. and then made it into like a crazy powerful fucking like mafioso-esque empire basically, and even infiltrated the IRS and the government just so they can get tax exemption status even when he was still around. I mean, that motherfucker like is, despite who he was kind of a weird little mastermind of manipulation. Especially to somehow get Scientologists to infiltrate the fucking IRS. That is wild. I'm pretty sure this only happened once with the IRS, from like an outside organization, and I think it was that time. Because I mean, IRS arguably has been like infiltrated, you got MAGA chuds and this and that, but like in an actual, like literally was infiltrated, like that would generally be like a proper actual case of like, yeah, it was. And pretty overtly too. I mean, they got in there just enough to basically, twist some arms, and then they made their presence known once they were able to do that. And basically force the government to kind of like cave into it. Like, that's how kind of freaky Scientology is a little bit. Like, they're one of my more, ones I'm interested in a sense of just how very organized it is and how very complicated some of their shit is. And also just clever. Like, they got, clever imagery. Like, if you look at, their symbol, it is kind of a variation of a cross. Like, it is easy for someone to mistake that for, like, some Christian, subsect or something. Until it's too late, basically. And then there's just the whole thing about, like, dialect, like that whole dialectic, like, theta, like, whatever the fuck kind of, shit. It was like something dialectalism or whatever the fuck. It was just like some weird, like, pseudoscience bullshit that he would push on top of that. And he was also like a maritime, like, naval officer at one point, and was such a fuck up, he unintentionally fired on friendlies, when he thought there was like, some like enemy that he was trying to catch or some shit. It was just like he was just not exactly a fucking good guy at all by any means, and he was just also kind of a klutz and just unhinged, even during his time in the service, and also just a masterful liar. He would literally just make up so many insane stories about his life. Like, I don't even know where to start, to be honest, because there's so fucking many. like, like it's endless, and there's plenty of them where when you talk, if you actually like kind of get the details of these stories, at least the basic foundations, there's a lot of times where they overlap in timelines where it's like, so you were there, but you're also over here somehow. It's like, what? I mean, but he was just so like a weird master manipulator in the sense that it didn't really matter. He was just good at fanciful, storytelling, and no one really questioned it. Because in a weird way, he was very elaborate and remembered his details. That, and also like the weird structure of Scientology, like, is strangely like kind of fascinating. Because just getting into it, you don't really get to like know everything. Like, there's a lot of weird secrets about certain things within the organization that you just don't get to know unless you end up being a higher up. Like, people like Tom Cruise and shit probably know a lot of shit about Scientology, including other higher ups within the organization. But at this point, like most people, if you run across one randomly, like, chances are they don't really know much about what's actually happening with it. If anything, they're probably actually like enslaved by them and are being trafficked from them. Likely, because that happens a lot, because they prey on those type of people. And they usually use them just on the virtue to move them around their different churches just to at least have, people there, but also to, try to convert others, or at least, spread the word, basically, like a lot of other religious, organizations do. They do a lot of that type of stuff, as well. But nowhere near as much anymore, because I think people are just no at this rate. But at the same time, they still have those people around for that type of shit, and just to do basic maintenance of the buildings that they run, because they really don't use them. There are people there, but they're just there just for like presence sake. he was a failure morally as a writer, intellectually. Yeah, like ultimately he was. I'm not saying that he was like he failed his way upwards basically, and mostly on the virtue of avoiding taxes. Like he just lumped in all of his weird, crazy shit, because he knew that religion was a good way to avoid taxes. Like, and that's why he did what he did and formed Scientology. Like, I mean, and frankly, that was probably his only success is Scientology. And not necessarily because of him, but because of the people he got around him. People who were smart and cunning and knew how to avoid tax themselves, because there were also a bunch of libertarian weirdo capitalist fucks that wanted to avoid their taxes too. That's why he also had a very strong like maritime structure as well within Scientology, and includes a lot of verbiage that's like kind of naval like, and even has like kind of a somewhat of a presentation if you've seen some of their shit before, to some degree, just because, like I said, L. Ron was also a sailor, at one point, a terrible one, but one nonetheless. And there's a whole fabrication about this whole thing about that. But also another thing too, if you're in international waters, your government can't exactly try to fucking get you for taxes. I mean, they can, but it's easy to just like avoid them if you're in international waters, or you could just like hop, skip, jump all over the place. When you're on a boat with a bunch of your other buddies that are doing the same thing. I mean, it's a scheme that honestly was legit, probably is his only success. Nowadays, I mean, it's just been so normalized that you don't need like some religious cult shit, unless Zionism, to do it. You just have to be, a bold enough rich cocksucker to be like, yeah, I'm just doing that. I'm just gonna be a cutthroat capitalist, just like the rest. Because arguably, that it really is just the case. I mean, even during his time, I mean, he just wasn't like a rich, CEO who was successful. Like he was such a failure, like you were mentioning, Sparky, because like it's like he couldn't be one of those guys where he could just do it and not have to really give a fuck. He would still have to pay some of it, but it would just be surface level shit to just make the books look clean. Like he wasn't smart enough for that shit. It was more about just like, I guess in a weird way, Trumpian when it comes to him, because he was like a dude who's like, no, I want all my money, it's mine, man. Very like almost childlike in that kind of sense. He tried to build a utopian international waters off Thailand. The sole Thai royal family got raided by Thai Coast Guard. The national waters also means there's no one to protect you from government overreach. That is also true. That's why I said if the government really wants to and they can get you, oh, they will get you. I'm saying, but also it was, Elron, when he was doing this at the time, there wasn't like a lot of the technology we have today. So it would even if you were on your boats and shit and they were kind of like, shadow boats and weren't really officially on any fucking tracking or whatever, that government's still going to get your ass. There's drones, there's satellites, like you're fucked. You know what I mean? Like, a drone, like, I mean, look at what Trump does with these little fishing boats, and shit, you know what I mean? Like, in the Caribbean, in the Pacific, like, like, I mean, if we could do that to that shit, imagine, L. Ron Hubbard today trying to do that to the U.S. government. You think, like, I mean, maybe not with Trump. Maybe actually Trump be like, yeah, you're fine, I don't care, just give me money a little bit. Bribe me, and I won't tax you, I don't give a fuck. I won't force it. So he probably let Elron just hang out and stay, but I mean, if it was like Biden or something, or even Obama, like, bro, at a certain point, your ass getting caught. There will be literally like a destroyer with like a naval, like, SEAL team literally raiding your fucking shit, bitch. And maybe you just get the wrong yes man next to Trump and then he just drones your ass. I don't know. That could happen. I mean, that is kind of the thing about international waters. It's like a weird way. You're not you're not abiding. You don't have to abide by any like law from any government necessarily. There is some truth to that. you still kind of got to, regardless. I mean, especially if you're a citizen of a country. I mean, you still have to, even if you are in international waters. Like, you can't just kill somebody in international waters, come back and be like, yeah, my hands are clean. I didn't kill anyone in this country or any country, so that it don't work like that. Like, I mean, but theoretically though, it's just one of those things where it's like the most accessible means of being able to get away with shit. But at the same time, if it's known you're getting away with shit and the government wants to get on your ass about it in international waters, oh, it will. Yeah, that's right. And you ain't gonna. And honestly, depending how severe it is, you don't want to fuck with that. I mean, especially in this day and age. I mean, it's just not exactly good. I don't think I've ever heard you say who do you think should have run in 2028. Uh, should have run in 20. Wait, that's what? You mean 24? Or like, I mean, because 2028 hasn't happened yet. You jumped a few years there. Uh, I'm guessing you either mean like 2020 or like 2024. And frankly, honestly, in 2020, I mean, I would, I don't know, like, I will just say this much. It probably would have been better if it was just a Trump second term because we wouldn't have to be dealing with him right now and the stupid bullshit. Granted, arguably, we'll still deal with a lot of bullshit right now, but, like, and that second term would still be a lot of bullshit as well, but in a weird way, I feel like it would just not be nowhere near as bad. It would still be fucked, but nowhere near as fucked. You feel me? Like, I think it would have been preferable if I just lost and took the L, and then a candidate for 2024 came in, because Trump might still try to push, be like, oh, he probably will still try that shit, right? But I think it just wouldn't be a possibility, really. I think he would just, accept it and maybe just have, all right, Don Jr., you take my place, Donnie Jr. I'd take a continuation of Trump's first term over this bullshit any day. Yep. I mean, I'm being serious. Like, I mean, it's just an unfortunate truth. Dude, most like people on the left slash like, why do you think back in 2020 I was saying it would probably be better if Trump won? I was saying it then, bro, because I kind of knew that this would likely happen. Not to this degree, obviously, but I just knew that like, Trump ain't gonna fucking let that down for one, and for two would absolutely come back with a vengeance and a little bit more bloodthirsty. I didn't think it would be this fucked though. That's the problem. That was like the one thing I kind of took out from the calculus overall. But basically, at the end of the day, this is kind of what I saw coming. I mean, a little bit. And it's just one of those things where I hate to be like, yeah, well, the curse of being a leftist where you're right too early and then, you don't really get vindicated. It's just like, fuck, dude. Sucks to be a leftist sometimes. Katie Wilson would be cool, but I don't think she has a national profile. She really don't. I mean, Jesus. Oh, goddamn. But, oh, fucking phlegm, goddamn. But, yeah, like, she is kind of pretty much similar to, like, Mom Donnie right now, though, when it comes to her, so she needs to kind of be a little bit more, I don't know, compete with him in a way. Be like, oh, no, I'm actually, like, fucking America's mayor. Like, look at my shit right here. I guess the problem is, like, New York has kind of gotten, like, some highlights and shit, and Mom Donnie really is truly, like, a man of the people type. We also really don't kind of, like, she don't has that as much. So, I don't know. What do you think she'll run at 28? Yeah, for 2028. Honestly, I think it's easier for me to say who I don't think should. I don't think Newsom should, and I definitely don't think Kamala should try again, but she's going to. I don't think Hillary should, but there's a weird thing where I have a hunch that she might try to claw her fucking reptilian queen lizard hands back into it. The candidate that could win is my preference. I guess Kano would be my top choice at the moment. He's been more active than AOC. And AOC has been kind of a little wishy-washy about certain things, where I'm just like, this is why I don't really trust you, AOC. You kind of got too established with the Democratic Party. Because she's kind of doing like the fucking, thing that happened with Bernie, being like, oh, yeah, he's a white guy, he's got some baggage, and it's like, do we got time for that right now, bitch? No, I don't think we do. So shut up or get out of the way. I mean, that's just kind of like what the fuck? The good candidate's off the table. Yeah, and honestly, because most of the Democratic Party is hyper pro-Zionist still, at least a candidate that's going to be anti-Zionist, which is a very major, like, single issue vote for a lot of people right now. Where it is like, I don't know. I mean, I don't think DNC is going to. They're not in reality. This blue MAGA bullshit is like, they're totally out of touch with reality with these like blue MAGA, blue dog fucking like Republicans that are totally, like, not Republicans, fucking Democrats that are Zionists and shit. I mean, like, to me, it's a bust. I'm not voting for another bad candidate. We need reform. I mean, the modern Western democratic process, I feel like it's just like becoming a massive failed, just experiment at this rate. Because like, I feel like at a certain point, like this shit is just, it's not functional. It's not being functional. And reform, it's going to take more than just, fixing up this system a little bit, replacing some shit. And we need a whole fucking like, we're restarting the whole hardware, software, like, especially the software, like, we're rebooting it from, like, factory settings kind of shit. Like, that's kind of some shit we need at this point. Like, reforming the DNC, like, our really just genuine, outright broken electoral process in general is, like, fucking, it's just broken. Like, we were supposed to have a fluid document with the Constitution, but we haven't really done fuck all with it because it's all solidified. We don't want to touch it now, apparently, or whatever the fuck. It's like, the whole point of it was for it to evolve and adapt and change as things change. But, no, there's just some weird thing where we just don't want to now at this point. And at the same time, just disregard it entirely. So, at this rate, does it really matter? So does the rest of the system really matter? Maybe we do need the factory reset. And frankly, we shouldn't have no, like, referendum or this and that for the country. That should literally just be like, no, we're just doing it. As, like, leadership, we're doing it now. So with the Great Depression, I'm not giving up hope. It's gonna, dude, what's about to happen coming up is gonna make the Great Depression look like a fucking cakewalk. Dude, things are about to get really fucking bad. If what, is being said about, like, the reserves of oil and all this other shit, and, like, with the different factions of the Republican Party that is trying to, like, address this fucking problem, going on, I mean, it's like, it's not going to look like some Great Depression shit. We're born to be milked by the ruling class. Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be like that, though. My country is broken. Have you tried turning it off and on again? That's what I'm saying. So there's something similar after the Great Depression reform, so hopefully. Yeah, let's just hope that the World War part of that doesn't have to be a thing, Even though, unfortunately, it could, unironically, really legitimately get to that point. Thank fuck that Iran is, like, legitimately, like, the main sane party in this whole fucking thing. Like, because they're just, honestly, at this point, hedging their bets and just like, we don't really gotta do shit. We can just keep the strait closed, and let China and a few others that we're friendly with get some stuff through and with tolls or whatever, and we'll just bide our time because Israel and the United States are just gonna fuck themselves over endlessly and basically detach themselves from the world as they already have. They literally are like just there being like, we're just growing and powerful, just sitting here. We're like an established like world power now, literally just being here, just sitting here. Thank you for replacing Ayatollah Khomeini with another Ayatollah Khomeini. Thank you for replacing Ayatollah Khomeini with another Ayatollah Khomeini. Just like we went to Vietnam and replaced the communists with the communists. Dude, that fucking song is so great. I hope someone out there knows what the fuck I'm talking about. If not, go look up that song. It's a fun song. There's multiple arrests in the primary tomorrow and then El Sayed in August. We need maximum pushback. More than just voting, by the way, my friend. Places like Delaney Hall, the White House, the algae swamp that is, in DC now. Like, dude, the fact that there's unironically fucking straight up like Natty Guard, even undercover people, stopping people and arresting them and at least at minimal detaining them for fucking around and being a little too close to the reflecting pool. And now it's at a point where it's actually starting to smell and it's attracting mosquitoes now. Like, it's actually literally becoming like some weird swamp marsh funk. Which, you know what? Unironically, I hope it stays like that. I'm not even joking. Until the next administration, I hope that never gets fixed. I literally don't care. Like, I literally want it to fucking just be I literally want to see like weird, like, I want to see a swamp gator in that bitch, bro. I want to see some Floridian just get a gator and just chuck it in there with like some fish and crawdad and some catty fish and shit, bro. I just want to see a movement of like Floridians fucking just literally making it like a Florida swamp, bro. It's poetic. That's what I mean. I literally don't care. I want people to have like go team algae and fucking let it turn to swampy murk. I don't care. Donald Trump literally can't even beat algae, bro. Fucking algae. It's not that, like, have you ever had like a hot tub or a swimming pool where you haven't used it in a long fucking time and it's all like algaed up a little bit? Dead ass, is not hard to fix that. But the main reason why that was the case is because literally it was the paint that they used. Like, if they just left it alone, or if anything, maybe just add like a slight like food dye coloring in there or something, or like and that's it. So it has like an extra blue color to it. Then that even would have been fine. I don't know, like what the fuck. If you want more blue, then literally just make the water more blue or some shit. I don't fucking know. It looks blue the way it did initially because of how they had it. Like, it's a shit show. That's putting it lightly. That's just what's going on in Donnie's diaper. A very swampy shit show. But when it comes down to like the rest of the country, that's just putting it fucking lightly, dog. We're back, boys. We're back, the boys and go. Back the boys and go. Swamp ass, dude. I honestly, I kind of feel bad for the Natty Guard because they literally are ordered to do this bullshit of arresting people fucking with the goddamn algae swamp pool, dude. I honestly, unironically, strangely feel bad for them because I'm like, they really are, like, I've seen some of them when they're like, hey, honestly, we find this all silly. I've seen a video of them detaining a lady, at least, where they're laughing with her a little bit because they find it fucking silly. I think they were, the ones that just detained someone and then let them go. Because I know there's at least been a couple people that were arrested, but I mean, I think they're overstating it, at least the Trump administration is, just to try to fucking scare people. But I don't really think it is. I think it's just going to encourage people to go there, which, good. I'm fine with that. I want people to know about its swampy stank ass. Did you hear about where they took a box cutter and cut 350 feet? I feel like that sentence was cut off. Like, what? What was the other part of that? Trump, I'm gonna drain the swamp. Dude, I'm kind of glad people remember that, bro. Back in his first term, I'm glad people remember that. I'm draining the swamp. Literally created one in the reflecting pool in DC. Literally created a swamp. It used to be figurative. Now it's literal. It's just like, bruh. Nobody can cut the Epstein Memorial swamp. It's just a deflection of the deflection pool. Drained the swamp if it collected it in his diaper. Cut 350 feet in the reflection pool. That was one of the guys they arrested. Oh, like that weird fucking paint that literally like peeled off. Yeah, because there were people literally taking some as souvenirs. That's why they sent the Natty Guard, because people literally saw that shit peeling out, so they would grab some, take, a box cutter or just a knife or whatever the fuck, or just rip it and just take some of it. How much do you want to bet that shit's gonna auction off so much on eBay, bro? Dude, I totally unironically would have a little bit of that. I'm not even joking. Even if it was like a little bit of a snippet of it, I don't give a fuck. I would totally have a little bit of that, dude, as a little token of the remembrance of the reflecting pool swamp. A Floridian swamp is literally spawned at, in DC, dude. The fuck? That was a screech of a swamp vulture. Mr. President, a second swamp has established in DC.
That's the sound Trump makes when his tiny mushroom cock finally comes.
No, it's remember the Euripidoo-ah? I'm gonna come. Oh, he's just a handsome man. I just could kiss him. I could kiss him with his big muscly muscles. I could just kiss the muscles. I also love, because of his dementia, that Trump is literally becoming unintentionally openly bisexual as fuck. By the way, we do not claim him. I as a bisexual, and I will speak for the bisexual community. Like, dead ass. Like, we don't claim him. We have nothing to do with him. We don't want anything to do with him. Like, I'm pretty sure the rest of the bisexual community will agree that we want nothing to do with them. Just because by definition he is, doesn't mean we claim him. There's a large protest happening in D.C. on the 4th and in that whole week. Good. It better be. Can we just have a general strike already? Can, at least, a quarter of this country just say, fuck it, and just, stop working and just, walk out and just maintain that or something? That's literally what needs to happen. Literally, statistically, it would take legit about 10% of the population if they were to just do a massive general strike. It doesn't have to be a large portion of the country, just enough. But we can at least a quarter of it or something. I mean, is the first bisexual is going to be kicked out of the LGBTQ community? Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Are there any other right wing pieces of shit or racists or weirdo fucks that are yeah, we kind of need to kick them out a little bit? I think it might be at least the one that everyone is just has a unanimous agreement, just broad unanimous yep. I literally don't think there would be a single vote against that. Hence why I'm hey, I speak for the bisexual community. Not even the LGBTQ. I just specifically the bis. Only the bis here. The fence riders, they like to swing on both sides of the fence. It's a fucking song right now. This is what God wants for me, to be dragged to hell. This is what the Bible dummy gets you. Just get dragged to hell, folks. Turn up a smidge though, because it do go hard as fuck. I love that lyric after that heavy drop. I fill my cup with the blood of Christ. It's like, ooh. After being dragged to hell, it's like, uh-oh. I wish that Christian was still around to hear that. I met 2 couples from Iowa. They became expats now. You know what's fucking wild? When I was in Iceland back in 2018, I dead-ass met a woman who married an Icelander that became an expat, you know, and moved to Iceland and was working at the Saga Museum in Iceland, in Reykjavik. And I was just like, you know, me and my mom, we ended up talking to her for a while, just like, what really brought you here? And she kind of had like, oh, well, honestly, healthcare predominantly, like, you know, because of my, you know, disability stuff, but I also have like, you know, a degree, but I'm, you know, just unfortunately, you know, couldn't get into it. But I was still able to do this because I also have like, you know, a history minor and this and that. And she kind of did that, but also kind of mentioned it's like, but also like Trump kind of is really like even before she left the country like 8 years prior to that, so she left back when Obama was in office. So she's like, but honestly, like now with Trump there, I'm like really glad that I am not in America anymore and I am living here because it is generally just better here and it's just comfortable and I don't have to worry about crazy shit like that. And I'm just like, I don't blame you. But she also was from Iowa. There are American refugees in Germany. Honestly, there's probably going to be a lot more of us as refugees and like expats, you know, in the coming future. I will say, I hope your country's, not just Germany, you know, does kind of expand on that a bit because, like, at least for someone like me, I don't think I have like qualifications to actually like migrate and move. But as a refugee, or maybe in a different status where I can naturalize myself, you know, as a citizen, you know, in that way, even if it does take longer or more hoops. I mean, maybe that wouldn't be a bad idea, but frankly, ultimately, I kind that's like literally like a last ditch if I have to, and I really don't want to. I'll admit, I really don't. I'd rather stay, you know, where I specifically live. I mean, even if America balkanizes and now I live in like the new founded, you know, Cascadian Republic or some shit, fuck it. I'm part of that now, and frankly, weirdly, that'd be preferable. I'd actually be like, all right, where do I volunteer and start getting the works in the woods of figuring that out and being part of that process? I'd literally overtly be like, all right, bye job. I'm helping these guys now. I'm already down to move to the Great Cascadia of Washington, Oregon, California. California is not Cascadia. It's well, northern parts of California, but it's mostly Oregon, Washington, Idaho, even though I don't really claim that. And then it's British Columbia. And then like a little bit of Alaska too, but just like the southern part. Like with the little island archipelagos, stuff like that. Like that's all kind of Cascadia. It's not California only, like the Jefferson State, like northern NorCal area is kind of that, but that's about as south as Cascadia goes. But I will say, if there's like a broader Pacific state Pacific States of America or like a part of a broader like California Republic, I would have no problem if Oregon and Washington join in on that. California would be a major fucking economic power, like on its own, even just as it is on by itself. It would have to go through different reforms and different changes, but ultimately, like, it would easily be able to be like, you know, the fifth to fourth largest like economic power in the world if it was to be its own country, because of the economic powerhouse that California is. As much as especially right wingers like to think it's not, it just that's just the fucking truth of it. It just is. Because America's trying to fuck us over and not crying for help. I don't know if journalist acceptance is there. Well, it's not like America as a government ain't the same as Americans who are trying to also get the fuck away from that. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm hoping that, like, governments recognize there's still good people here. And honestly, on a general level, on average, yeah, most Americans are, for the most part, decent people, and all right. I might not, like, be vibing all the time necessarily with every motherfucker, but that's usually how it is, Everyone's got fucking assholes. America's just got a lot more than usual, unfortunately. And most of them, unfortunately, run our fucking government and rule our electoral process because of the electoral college, because land matters more than people. About 52% vote for that one, on that. Those who did vote, a lot of people, actively sat out that election. And also, on average, about half the country usually doesn't participate in the electoral process anyway. So it's only about half of the country on its own is already kind of somewhat participating in that electoral process. And then there was more people than ever that sat out the last election. Like, so that's probably even a higher percentile in that situation. I mean, that's why. People are not enthusiastic voting this fucking stupid, broken shit fuck system. And the more people are less enthusiastic about it, the more Republicans and the right wing win and win those elections. They almost because Republicans always see like some and conservatives, and I know this for a fact, they see us like a duty to, oh, you gotta go vote, go to the polls, this and that. Like they will do that shit. Maybe not necessarily for primaries, but they will definitely in the general. And like, I mean, because I know my family, especially the ones that live in Texas, do that. They go out of the way to do that shit. And they're voting Republican down ballot. That's what they do. I mean, so it's just one of those things where it's like, when you get people like that, but people on the broader left / Democrats, are less likely to do that because maybe they will withhold their vote or maybe vote third party or do other shit. That means it's more likely for the Republican to win because Republicans usually don't fucking break away from party line ballot. It's not impossible, but also it's, very unlikely. In fact, usually it's not likely. People like Bernie or even like someone like Mamdani, and for example, like there are examples, but shocker is because it's being outflanked from the left, and especially when it comes to what they're saying, that's what wins them over. And arguably, that's not a bad thing. And if anything, I would say that it's actually good, that you get those type of people over, despite whatever weird social opinions they may have about like trans people or fucking immigrants and this and that. I mean, if we can at least start getting some basic agreement on some big issues, especially like those bread and table issues, then social issues can also be addressed in a more fluid and productive way instead of just back and forth like thank you kind of bullshit. Because now it's from a basis of understanding. And now you can at least especially go back to the main broader agreement and be like, well, ultimately, and throw it back out and be like, how does this truly impact you? Is this actually something like, like you probably do work with trans people and, probably don't even know it. And like, what's the problem with them? They're just trying to earn their paycheck just as much as everybody else. And whatever they do with their money, who gives a fuck? Right? Like, you don't want the whole get out of my business type of stuff, right? So ultimately, it's like, you potentially worked with someone who's trans and this and that, and you don't even realize it. You notice how they just are living their life literally like anyone else. Doesn't really truly matter. And kind of make them think about it. And like I said, it takes a moment, but once you get to those broader agreements, and they're like, "Yeah, I vote for Mondani," but then they still got those hangups. At least it's easier to talk about them. I will say, I mean, it's not a guarantee that they will fucking like get one over, especially after the first combo or something. But I mean, there is an opportunity where they'll at least maybe break it down and be like, "All right, you got a point on this, I guess, but I don't know about this and that." But at least, hey, if they can at least start, from that, then that's good. At least in my opinion, that ultimately that's a dub. Because as much as I like to test these fucking MAGA chuds and the right wing and shit at this point, I mean, I still am willing to at least open a door if it's at least, a willingness to do so. Like, if there's not, then I'm keeping it shut and locked, and I'm Second Amendment in that bitch, being like, you better not break in, motherfucker. It's like, like, we ain't doing that. But if you're having a willingness to be chill, then okay. But I am definitely standoffish these days when it comes to shit like that. Especially more than ever at this point. But don't blame me. Blame the fucking administration for it. Still like a 24 is lightning in a ball moment for everything that would go right for Trump and everything that would go wrong for Democrats. Yeah. Mainly because the Democrats and Biden basically fucked it up. Because you could blame the Republicans and Trump specifically all I want, but there is seriously a direct fault of the Democratic Party and the DNC, and at least at that time, Biden as well. Where, yeah, you all fucked up, and you're at fault as to why this is honestly happening again. We could blame, what's happening now to him, but how did this happen? Yeah, because y'all fucked up. You fucked up royally. And now look at the shit that we have to sleep in. That could have been stopped. We could have done something to prevent that. But oh no. DNC are fascists. Yeah. Especially if they're still pro-Zionist and more so than than ever at this point. Yeah, no, fuck them. They are. Scratch a little fascist blades. Scratch a Zionist in the fascist blades. I mean, look at Chuck Schumer. That guy's literally a fucking Zio-Nazi fascist. Like, yeah, he's a fascist. We'll call Chuck Schumer that. I don't give a fuck, because he is. He literally is. He literally will put Israel first amongst anything. He's a fucking traitor to this country, and she ought to be hanged as a fucking fascist traitor, as far as I'm concerned, through the judicial process of the Constitution of the Article 3, Section 3. Just to clarify, you two, so you don't fuck with me. Nazi National Zionist. Yeah, Nazis kind of caught in a little bit of an evolved term these days, doesn't it? Old school Nazis, but now you got Zio-Nazis. National Zionist Nazis. Too bad they are kind of one and the same. I mean, it's too bad it is a fact that Zionists, even prior to, the camps and genocide, and the Holocaust, against the Jewish people, literally did exchange money and agreements with the Nazi Party to, expel and forcibly migrate Jews out of Germany into places like in England and other places where the Zionists, authors and philosophers and theorists, could advocate further for an Israeli state where the British government can then export them and then forcibly migrate, Jews into Jerusalem and Israel, and then thus, radicalize them into having terrorist organizations that started the fucking Nakba and started a lot of the instigations in the colonial expansionism of Israeli settlements, at that point, and after the establishment of, the Israeli state. Like this, that literally fucking happened. This shit happened. The Nazis were literally okay with Zionists because it was kind of like a means to end to them. Oh, Jews get exported and are out of our country? Oh, yeah. We don't care where they go, just get the fuck out. Once we expand into that territory, then we'll vassalize you and eventually exterminate you later. But at least you're out here. You're out of here. Stay off, yeah. Hi, stay off. Your impression's on point. Well, a lot of Nazis were secretly gay too, so you gotta add a little flamboyantness. And plus, I do kind of know some. Ich mag es Deutsch a little bit. It's complex genocide based on superiority complex. It ultimately is. Fascism is always, fundamentally based off of that shit. I disagree. Well, I know. Hey, I'm at least specifically talking about the Nazi fucking German shit. I'm not talking about Germans today. So I'm just saying, you know, it's not the same, okay? It's not the same. It's not the same German, that I'm going after here. If I'm doing like an average German impersonation, I would just try to at least, actually do somewhat of an accent and at least do what little German I kind of know. But that's about it. Like I really want to like try to bastardize it. But if it's Nazis, I will bastardize that all day long. If I'm talking about like some Nazi German, like whatever, then yeah, I'll bastardize it and make them like some overtly like bastardized, flamboyant, gay German thing or something. I don't know. But hey, they're Nazis, so they deserve to be made fun of. Listen, if you guys are roasting dead people. I mean, honestly, it's not even a roast. Oliver Tree, alive or dead, would literally be better as a president right now. I'm not even joking. Because Oliver Tree is just that amazing. Just died. I mean, that is fair at least. We could wait at least like a month maybe. I will say I wasn't like a fan or like actively listened to him a lot, but I liked him, Poor Oliver Tree though, because I did actually like him. Like, he was a quirky dude. I liked how he purposely was kind of quirky, and looked weird just on the virtuous, like, hey, don't matter if you look weird, just be yourself and be beautiful. Like, kind of, like, that was like one of his mottos and shit. I'm like, hell yeah. He was just a good dude overall. I liked the guy. So, poor Oliver Tree on that one. But to be fair, though, I would vote his. I would literally vote like his like gravestone or some shit in in office and instead, and then like I unironically would. I'm just saying, but watched this Antarctica doc today and it was pretty funny. Yeah, I saw like his gecko therapy video. I've seen a few shorts, that were like either circulating around or got re-uploaded and shit like that. I've been seeing a lot of stuff from him where he's just kind of doing his own thing a little bit in his like character, but doing his thing. And I'm just like, what he actually like looks like what Mr. Beast could actually be if he wasn't like a weird soulless billionaire ghoul. Like, cause Oliver Tree actually does look like a cool, quirky dude, and frankly, I think in a weird way knew that. Yeah, you just gotta live life to the fullest because like you never know. I mean, because like, hey, life literally could just take you out, by tomorrow, kind of shit. So you just gotta kind of do it to the fullest and see what you can, kind of shit, and just do what thou will. It's very Aleister Crowley like when it came to his philosophy about life. Honestly, that's why I like him. Never listened to his music that much, but just as a dude and as a character and a person, definitely a really cool guy. What's your midterm balance? Sister, no, I don't care anymore. I don't know. I haven't exactly like looked into it that much right at the moment. At least when it comes to the midterm stuff, like I'm just kind of seeing how like things play out in the meantime for some of these other primaries, I guess. I mean, at least for Oregon, I don't really expect much to change. Oregon's practically like staying the same when it comes to the bullshit we're dealing with for the midterms. So, and at least a lot of the primaries so far that I do care about, outside of like a couple more, I mean, they already happened and they, for the most part, pretty much went the way I would expect and agreed with. So I'm kind of just waiting for the general, but still got to see what these other primaries look like and see what other shit might be happening. Enough for President Hugh Wolf and Iron Pod. I need to wait at least 6 years. Well, 7 years technically. Oh fuck. Okay, hold on. What would be the eligible electoral cycle today? Because I think it counts that you could technically be 34, but as long as you're 35 by the time you're inaugurated, I think that's when it counts. So I'd be 35. So I turned 29 this year. So 27, so 30, 20, 31, 22, 32. Right? What? No way. God damn, this math is fucking gonna drive me nuts a little bit. I'm not even gonna lie. Fuck. 27. 29, 32, 30, 32. Fuck, this is starting to get difficult. Because now I'm in the 30s and they're all in the same. That's why I fucked up. Okay, so 30, 33, 31, 34. So I can't run it. I can run in 2032. So I think maybe for 2036. Motherfuck. That's what I hate being about Cusper. You're kind of in that weird little like middle ground shit. It's a little bunk. Though to be fair, I don't expect myself to be on some level where I could just run for president by that point. Maybe possibility of doing local office stuff, but because you gotta start somewhere and you gotta put your foot in the door in some way if you're gonna go that route. You can't just like, yeah, I'm just gonna run for president of like literally like nothing. And plus, I do think there generally should be prerequisites to run for president, where it's like you at least have to. I mean, the age limit thing I think is a little dumb. I mean, I think it should at least be 30. I will say, maybe not like 25 or anything, but 30 I think is good. And then also at least like you have ran for at least some level of office, for a full term at least. I mean, that much. It does have to be like a huge one. It doesn't have to be like a governorship or a senate. It could be like, city council or mayor or, something small. But you have to at least have some level of like you were in political office at least at some point. At least that much. Amongst a few other things I'd argue, but I mean, I would say at least that should be at least a basic foundation. And also at least being a naturalized citizen, and born and raised, or at least being like a born and raised citizen here, that rule needs to be taken out. You just have to be a citizen here. Like, I don't care if you were born this place, that place, or wherever the fuck. You know what I mean? I just say like, live. You can, as long as you're a U.S. citizen here, and also have ran for office at some point, and who gives a damn? And wow, corridos out of nowhere. that was a shift. Ignore it. Ignore it. Wait, I don't know why I'm ignoring. Ooh, oh, that felt good. Man, I do not know what I did with my fucking thumb, but it's just been like in a spot where I can't like knock it out or like pop it or anything. And I know this is the thumb I like cracked like a decade ago or some shit. I know why and everything. I remember what happened, but it's just like motherfuck, dude. What? I'm wondering if it's because of work, because I'm like tossing wings and everything and shit. Like with the bowls, I'm always like doing this weird like position and everything with holding, my thumb. I wonder if it's that. Because I'm just like, ah. Lately, it's just been like, oof. Like normally I don't just pop it every fucking time like this, but lately I've been able to, and it's just like, ugh. It doesn't like hurt, but it's just uncomfortable. And to be fair, honestly, I feel like that's just how my joints and my ligaments have been on my hands lately. I don't get it. I don't like it. You need to do some more like figure stretches and shit. Ugh. Woke yourself to the bone, are you? Which is ironic because I'm not really. It's just my hands. Big stretch. No, for real. Gotta do like some of those dog stretches or whatever. Like, ah. Oh, fucking Sepultura. Hell yeah, dude. Let's see if I can get this thumb. Because I can do this one. Ah! Ooh. Almost. Almost. Ah, that actually did not help. That I made it worse. Fuck. I'll eventually get that one. God damn it. Oof. Yeah. All right. Well, now this thumb don't feel good. Motherfuck. Me as fuck. Yeah. No. Oh my god. Okay. Now this thumb feels not good. Mm. Why did I do that? Now. Fuck. Yeah. Mm. It's just a hand. Well, no, it's the thumb. I was trying to pop it, and I somehow made it worse. What the fuck? How? Well, massaging is helping. Oh, there we go. All right, I kind of got it a little bit. Ooh, yeah, I got it a little bit. But yeah, there's definitely a little some funk now. That's just awesome. Sometimes doing that kind of helps. That actually kind of did. Ooh, I can almost address it, but oof. At least it don't hurt now. Reminds me of Homer Simpson trying to cook for Mr. Burns. Hey, at least I'll do a lot better job. I pinched a nerve in my forearm. It sucks. Oh my god, I hate that shit. Like, I will have that sometimes where I'll just kind of lean in and be like, what the fuck? And I have to, like, try to adjust and find, like, the right spot to, like, have everything, like kind of adjust in place. Oh, I don't know what it is, but sometimes if I, like, I don't know what it is, but, like, sometimes I'll, like, occasionally will do a stretch, but then unintentionally char horse myself. Because I, like, will sit or maybe stand for too long. So then I'll like sit down or maybe stand up and do like a stretch, and I'll be like, oh fuck, and almost or legit just unintentionally char horse myself, and I'll just be like, oh fuck. I'm like, well, son of a bitch. I don't know what it is, but I've had that happen to me. Not often, but a few times. I'm just like, how? Ain't the Charlotte Horse supposed to be like one of those things where it's like you just move in a weird way? Not because you're trying to stretch. How would I be able to join a live stream? Through like a dual live stream thing. I mean, I would have to invite you stuff, but I don't have the stream set up for that right now. I've been thinking about maybe doing that at some point. Um, I'll think of a day to do that potentially. Probably not necessarily soon, but probably soon. Here, maybe next week at some point. The other day, I stretched my neck too hard and cramped up so hard I thought it. Oh damn! Yeah, that is a weird thing about like that's why I kind of hate those chiropractors. Like, all right, we're gonna fix the neck, and they just like go like it literally looked like you just snapped the motherfucker's neck clean, and it's like I literally look at that shit. I'm like, I mean, doing like shit like this, little that, you know, little stuff like that, all that shit, all that, that's fine. But going like, and then, or some other crazy wild shit, I'm just like, oh hell no. You gotta be talking about it on Discord. I mean, hypothetically, I could potentially with Discord one, but I don't know how long that would last, unfortunately, because I would have to do it through my Wi-Fi hotspot. But I don't know. That's a possibility. I just would probably want to be a long one. That's why I think. Because you wouldn't necessarily have to have a camera on. It could just be your little, little PFP, and I'm just on the camera. The preparation. Well, yeah. Like, when I do it, I would send a link to you and shit. But also, I probably would send it to one of my mods as well, because I know, like, because Paul's Ego did this, on one of his streams not that long ago, where he had multiple people. The thing was, though, that I think on my end, I would have to, like, kind of, like, go back in the app every so often or some shit. Like, it looked like there was some technical stuff, around it, but it could be done. So I'm thinking, at least, until I eventually get a full-on PC and some other shit and blah, 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 I could, I think, legit maybe do something like that where it's like, all right, I can, like have an AMA, where, whoever wants to, and it's first come, first serve, basically. That'd be fine, just audio anyway. Well, there you go. Yeah. Because no one has to, like, have their camera on if they don't want to. It's just about, if they want to pop on. Thing is, though, I mean, I would have to at least make sure it is, like, kind of proofread, so to speak, you know what I mean? Like, I won't just accept anybody. Like, if it was you or, like, Taylor or, even my friend Rip City or Hyperion or whoever, like, people I know or have been in here, like, and I recognize them enough and we've talked enough and I'm chill with them, I'll be like, all right, I accept you. But if it's, like, a rando, I'll be like, I need to gauge you first. Not yet. But I don't know. We'll do it eventually, I think, one of these days. Oh, I was about to be like, wait, where's song? I don't know what to even say. I mean, I was just using you as an example anyway, but I don't know. Honestly, like, when I'm out in social interactions and shit, or sometimes there'll be, like, friends over and Logan will be like, yo, host guests. I'll just be like, all right, I'm going to be kind of awkward, but I'll figure it out. I will say, though, I mean, I've been a lot better about that, so I don't know. It's just about kind of going with the flow of it, I suppose. Just start like it's like, what's up, and just go from there. I don't know. Like, it really just kind of goes from that, honestly, half the time. But, yeah. I get you, though, because I've been in so many positions where I'm like, all right, I'm all right in the mood for it, so I'm cool with it. But then there are times where I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, and frankly, I kind of just don't want this, but all right. What am I doing? How do I figure this out? How do I at least engage with this so it's not like awkward or weird and I'm just kind of the guy, that's just here. You know what I mean? Being awkward is actually not a bad thing. Oh no. If anything, arguably it should be seen as kind of a way to help break the ice, so to speak, and kind of like be like, hey, let's be comfortable with each other. Like, the awkwardness, I think, arguably can be not a bad thing at all. And honestly, I will say for me, especially, there's been a lot of times where my awkwardness has actually worked in my favor. I'm not going to lie. So, I mean, it's not really a bad thing. And it's kind of a strange, like, positive. I know a lot of people will look at it and be like, well, I don't want to just be seen as an awkward, derpy person. But it's like, that's not necessarily a bad way to at least get warmed up to people. Because when you actually are comfortable and can actually, talk with them more and open up more, they'll realize, like, oh, you're not just some awkward derp. You're actually, like, just a cool person as fuck and this and that. But just not really, like, as open as others. But hey, there ain't no wrong with that. I mean, I'm actually kind of surprised. Like, here, let me change the song real quick. But I'm actually kind of surprised that, like, at least especially for myself, like, I've been able to, like, have different friend connections or even reconnect with old friends and stuff. Despite me being like, what's your name again? I forgot. Whoa, yeah, I haven't seen you forever. What? And I'm literally like, I don't even know what to say because just honestly, how you been? Like, whoa, it's been forever. That's a whole lore. Other than that, my friend would stream us gaming. He's have something to say then. Oh, definitely. An activity of some sort definitely helps. When it comes to that. I mean, at least like some sort of an activity or at least some sort of an addition definitely helps. Because I will say, if it's just like me and another person just in a room and there's no really other extra form of stimuli, whether it's like music or like a show or really just anything, then it's kind of like, it really is kind of an extra awkward sense of like, I really don't know what to, what do we do here? Like, where do I go with this? Because there's nothing really to outside of whatever that person may have on them, like with their clothes or tats or stuff like that, you know, which that's obviously good stuff to work with. But at certain points, it's like if they ain't opening up, and I've gone as far, to try, and then they ain't doing shit, then it's like, well, uh, I'm not just gonna start rambling about myself or something. Unless it's on these streams, then I will, because I don't give a fuck. But definitely different in person, though. I'm like, man, I don't know shit about shit to be talking. Yeah, there are some times where I'm like, I feel like I really do know shit, but then I will, like, you want to pop on or something, and I'll be like, man, I feel like I don't know shit about shit. I'm just here for the vibe. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just here, bro. Like, what? Which is kind of ironic because I've always thought somehow, like, being against it, like, at least back in the day, like DP or like popping on a Paul stream or something like that, I always be like, I still am funny enough. I'll be like, man, that'd be dope as fuck. To kind of like be guests on some of that shit. I have been with the Bearded Ramblings when Low Energy Videos used to do that shit. And then he was having like another show with Coffee and Chat, where I at least was on one, but he's not doing any streaming anymore, but he's still doing content right now. But we just kind of got burnt out from it, because we were supposed to do one in this month, but he never reached out to me about it. But I mean, from what I saw in his video that he made about it, it sounded like it was kind of burnt out on it. So I might reach out to him and be like, hey, I saw your video, hope you're doing good, this and that. If anything, once I get more of my shit set up, maybe I'll ask if you want to pop on just as a guest, just to hang out and chat, You don't, because he'll always be around. He even said, like, he's on Discord a lot and shit, and honestly has more fun being, over there watching different movies and shows and hanging out with people there. So I'm already friends with him and on his Discord, so one of those things where I just got to reach out and be like, hey, yo, Getting harassing dogs for like a year straight on TikTok really does something. Yeah, yeah, I'd imagine. I mean, I've been doxxed, but it's weird because it wasn't even really that big of a dox. It was like it was Andy No back in 2020, and it was when I got arrested. So my fucking shit with like the mugshot and everything was taken and everything, including my full name and all that shit. And of course, it's like an arrest record, so my address and all that other shit. If people really want to go seek it out, they can find it. And there were at least a few right wingers. There was two different times specifically where uh, both times I was at work and I came home on a break, on a lunch break, and there would just be food at my door. And both times, were, you know, I know for a fact from that because I even asked like some of the people in my house, like, did any of you order anything? And none of them were like, no, I never did. The first time was just tacos, and frankly, I was like, well, there's nothing wrong with the tacos. Fuck it, I'm just gonna eat these. So I did. They were fine. A little soggy because they were hard shell tacos. And then the second time was a burger and some fries from like some spot. But the person who ordered it still had his name and his number on the fucking receipt that was stapled on the fucking bag. And I was like, oh, there's like some dude right here. I'm like, I know your shit, bitch. And I think it was that one guy, fucking sending it to me. But it definitely was a different number that wasn't a local number. And I looked it up and it was, if I remember correctly, I think some number from like Idaho or some shit, ironically enough. And, or at least somewhere in like that or Montana, maybe. One, it was somewhere like there. Yeah, it was literally amateur shit because the first time there wasn't a receipt in the bag or nothing. Well, there was, but it was just for the food. There wasn't like a name or nothing on it. But I think it's because maybe how the receipt is printed for that spot he ordered from, it probably didn't put the name and shit on there. That's my guess. The second time though, that business did though. So it left that info on there, and I was like, oh, interesting. I'm going to keep that. And at the time, I still had a Twitter, so I posted it on Twitter, and mysteriously, after that second time, never got food sent to my door again because I knew that guy's info now. And then I looked it up further and figured it out and narrowed it down to where he was. And I was like, yeah, I could dox you too if I want, bitch. Obviously, I never did because the food stopped coming. So I think that guy at least got the hint. And frankly, it wasn't like a couple years later, that I was like, yeah, I kind of want to get a firearm. And I don't know, maybe or maybe not, that is a result of, some things. Maybe. Who knows? In Minecraft. Got the Jehovah's Witnesses sent to my house. Joke's on them. I know Jehovah's Witnesses in my town literally went to school with the ones who showed up wrong. Well, that one just, to be fair, seems like that's just what they do. I mean, I used to know a kid for high school as Jehovah's Witness, and then like we made a joke because his parents were like, "Yeah, you don't need to like be enforced of our beliefs anymore," kind of thing. So we made a joke that he turned a year old, for his first official birthday. I think it was like junior year, and we kind of poked fun at him a little bit. I still remember his full name too. Like the kid was kind of a little bit of a weird show off dork and kind of an asshole, but I think because of shit like that, it kind of humbled him a little bit. Because I remember, like at the end of junior year, senior year, he was actually pretty cool. Still a little bit of like, a kind of no shit, bro. But it was like, at least you're not kind of a total dick, though. You're just kind of blunt now. Kind of dickish, but you're just blunt. Like, all right, you're chill, though. Because there's plenty of times where we will be off to school and I'll be like visiting my friend, and we happen to walk the same direction or whatever, and we just hang out and talk for a bit and be cool as fuck. So I was like, all right, cool. But yeah, definitely a bit of a quirk ball. And I've also had them sent to my door before, including Mormons and Scientologists and like this weird, like Asian, like kind of mother god, like Christian cult thing. That's been around here. Like I've had so many of them, bro. It's just so wild. I just like try to avoid it as much as possible. There's one time where those like mother, like godmother, whatever the fuck. I don't even know what it was called. I just know that they thought that God was a woman and they were trying to push that to me. And I was literally already late for work. I overslept. I was like, fuck, I'm late for work. Back when I worked at Safeway, and I was like, yo, look, it's nice, y'all talking to me right now, but I generally got to go to work. I'm already late right now. And they're like, oh, that's okay. I'm sorry. But, not trying to waste time, but blah, 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 blah. And I'm literally sitting here like, okay, I'm about to literally be an asshole right now, and I don't want to because y'all are actually being kind of nice, but like, shut up. Leave me alone. I'm going. Like, I had to kind of be at a certain point, literally say, like, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but like, I gotta go. Sorry. You know, if you want, go down that road, like, the house with the three big trees, knock on their door. Maybe they'll be interested. That's where I live. Bye. And I just kind of shuffled them off, and hopefully, I don't know, they just left and just mind their business and didn't go to my house. But chances are they probably would have anyway because it's like they were making the rounds. Which is just so fucking annoying because Jesus himself, regardless of how you interpret his beliefs or Bible or whatever when it comes to the God of Abraham and all this other shit, like, I mean, that he would look at that and just be like, shame. They were just like, you didn't request this visit, did you? Someone requested to hear, and I'm like, no, I'm sorry, girl. I'll take your pamphlet anyway. I'll take your pamphlet though for your effort. Yeah, I guess. Well, what that is weird. What you could literally have like a call to. That is, I've never heard of that before. Whoa, that is weird. What? Honestly, that alone kind. Yes, yeah, you can. Well, I mean, I figured you could in a sense if you're like in the church and you're like, hey, I want to like, I can't make it, but can you send one of your guys over to like, maybe the next day, go through the broader like teachings that were done for that church meeting. I mean, I figured that was a thing, but like, you could just on a whim be like, yo, could you send one of your people over? I want to explore it, but I just don't want to go to your church. Like, what? That's that's a little wild to me, honestly. I'm not even gonna lie, dude. That is a little wild. What the fuck? I mean, I guess I'm not that surprised, but I mean, they used to do door to door here. Yeah, honestly, I've just noticed in general that the whole door to door thing, isn't much of a thing anymore. I will say around here, Mormons do it somewhat frequently, just on the virtue that, there is a local Mormon church here, and that is like a big emphasis that they do. Like they try to go out and about, and I've even met them before too, and some of them are okay and kind of chill, and some of them are frankly fucking annoying. I'm just like, oh my god, okay, I get it, like, but dude, please just. I'm just trying to catch the bus, bro. I'm just trying to get the bus and just like go do my shit. Like I'm not in the mood right now, dude. Like, can you please not? And then they still do it. I'm sitting here like, oh my god, the urge to tell you to fuck off is so strong in me right now. Or at least to poke fun at you or something. But I'm gonna be nice, but it's just like, it's like, please just go away. The ones that are chill are the ones that don't bring it up right off the bat. They'll just kind of like mention it occasionally and just be like, yeah, well, blah, 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 blah. That's kind of why, I think, when it comes to like my belief and blah, 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 and they kind of like add it as like an addendum, as like an example of why they think certain things might be good or this and that or whatever the fuck. You kind of know how religious people can be with it, right? They invoke it, when it comes to trying to like, kind of go you in a little bit into it. I'm just like, okay, I see what you're doing, but at least you're kind of chill about it. You're not like a total full on like prude enforcing it. You're not like being like, no, you gotta kind of like check us out. Just kind of like think about it. kind of shit in between just talking with me. So it's like, all right, whatever. That I can kind of deal with that. That's fine enough. It's literally like the line in the sand for me. If it's like that, then fine. But it's not. It's just literally just gonna go one ear out the other, though, bro. Most going to my door around the holidays, which I don't like. Uh, because to get to my door, you have to go around the back of the building. It felt like they were creeping around. Honestly, I will admit, I've just there is certainly like a weird uncomfortableness about like Mormons. No offense to my friend Logan too, because he was raised Mormon, Mormon Christian, but it's just like I kind of can't help it. They're, like when it comes to active ones that are doing their shit, I'm kind of like I don't know. It's a little odd, especially when they got like their little name tags, like they're fucking like rocking like a business. They literally look like they're repping a business. You know what I mean? The ones I've seen around here literally have like business style like name tags and like they literally look like they're you know like executives for like some corporate tech business or some shit that's important. That's like a startup, bro. Like I'm not even joking. What if Charmant got beer coolers and gave people free beer on their birthday? Isn't that contradictory to their like no drugs fucking rule? On it's not that that stopped people, but I guess the caveat is you can't open it on the bus. You have to wait until you leave the bus. Then you can open it. After that, then that's on you. The only Mormon's family here. They were considered liberal Mormons. She later went to wear a pride shirt on campus BYU. Good people trying to. Oh yeah, no, for real. Like a lot of Mormons I met are actually decent. Well, at least outside the more active ones that kind of try to preach their shit a little bit, like pretty much like the couple examples I mentioned. But beyond that, yeah, like they're actually generally really cool as fuck people. Like, and even though Logan's family, at least some of them aren't practicing anymore and have and if anything, got their own beliefs and shit, and all that, but still, again, were raised that way and shit. So they had like there's still a lot of that still stuck, but I mean, regardless, that's why I don't really give a fuck as much about like what people's like broader spiritual journeys are, even though I'm an anti-theist, because like whatever, like hey, your journey was different than mine, but that's fine. Like, I mean, I still don't believe it, when it comes to like the belief systems of Mormonism, this and that, or whatever. But what the fuck, I I mean, I'm not gonna stop you from letting it guide yourself in your own life, being a your own person. You know, that's how at least I feel about it when it comes to that. At least because ultimately they really are fairly strangely some of the more laid back and actually strangely practice more than what Christ preaches than most Christians. I will admit that. Like, I mean, even the local Mormon church around here, even if you're not a Mormon, they will actively like help you and use some of the local chapter of that church, and their funds to help you and shit. At least the one around here. Like back at my friend's old spot, there used to be missionaries, from that church that would come all the time to the next door neighbor. That was fucking a nightmare, mostly for the kid, for their kids, because they were kind of interested, and it was like in a weird way, their one form, of stability, and
the Mormons and the charity,
that's already
the charity. They take advantage of the charity. They don't deserve the charity.
Oh,
Fuck them kids.
Oh my god. I mean, but
I'm joking.
I know. So what I was talking about. Yeah, but the point being though is just like I actually do like and appreciate that regardless of the religion or whatever the fuck, I don't care. Like they actually are actively trying to help. Because I remember there was times that they even offer
do
food
good
and
work,
other
man.
shit.
Mormon missionaries actually do good work, bro. Like they do positive shit. They're community servants.
Well, that's what I was saying. You know,
They're not just trying to convert you. They're actually there to
regardless
serve.
of the religion, like I
They're
mean,
there to serve people.
yeah, like regardless of the religion and how I feel about it, like yeah, like they're actually ones who are more closer to like practicing what Christ preaches versus like what most Christians do when it comes to street preaching. Like the fags will burn in hell, they will burn. Just another lib drunk. No. Crossfaded, but not drunk. And also, I'm being a goober over here anyway. Who pissed in your Cheerios anyway? Like, what's your deal? Put Trump on a window? What should everyone literally have him in their bedroom like Kim Jong-un or some shit?
Me and Whitney just be like, basically having like romance / sexting thing for the past 2 hours.
Cool. Yes. Wow. So you literally like, just like the Soviet Union or like Kim Jong-un's regime, like we must have the pictures of our leaders plastered literally everywhere by law.
Washers are ready. If you wanted to do laundry.
Yeah. I'll do that here a little bit later.
I would start now, dude. It's already fucking 11:43. We're gonna be getting up. Yeah, you're gonna have to get up early, dog.
Oh shit. Oh yeah, that's right.
Rafting, because me and Whitney we're leaving early. Remember?
Oh yeah, that's right. Fuck. Well, I'm gonna have to wait because I'm probably gonna take the same raft that Stefan has anyway. So I'm just.
No, we're not going down. We're getting there.
Well,
having lunch. He'll bring. We'll meet.
Stefan I know that. I'm just saying.
Because he's not gonna come pick you up.
Duh.
Be out of the way.
No, duh. I know that. Okay. I'm going with you. What do you think? What do you think I was trying to say? Huh? Like I was just saying. Like I mean, at least I'm just gonna use the same thing like I did last time. So that's just all I'm saying. Like, you know, you will have your shit ready, but I'm gonna have to, with Marcouche and everyone else, you know, get my shit ready to go, which wouldn't take that long anyway. So, but just saying. Did Trump piss on some Cheerios again? Yeah, pretty much. Might not have enough for us because Harley and Marcus are coming also. Well, I'm definitely taking that yellow one. I don't give a fuck. That's been claimed. That's literally what I'm. Well, I know that Logan has his raft with the double raft thing that him and Whitney are gonna use, and then there's the paddleboard, and then there's which. Another Marcus Spicky. Oh my god. Am I gonna have to try to somehow paddleboard this fucking bullshit? Dude, I don't, I'm not good at those yet. If we're doing Barbara Carton, like, you know, we were mentioning, I'm gonna have to, like, oh god. Oh boy. I'm gonna have to get my own now. I'm really gonna have to invest in that at this point. Phoebe's live. I'm gonna see what's up with her. Yeah, for sure. So 2 people need a paddleboard, then 1 can get the kayak. So, oh, Harley's gonna hate this. I know Harley. He's gonna be a fucking bitch about. Oh my god, that means I'm gonna have to paddleboard it. Oh my fucking god. Why are we all a bunch of paddleboard bros? Dude, you know Harley. He's gonna be a fucking whiny bitch. Be like, oh my god. Yeah, you know him. The closest I can do is probably maybe I like, you know, tether a, you know, paddleboard, and then I fucking like ride with him sometimes, you know, with some shit, and somehow double man that little mini thing. I mean, hey, we're friends with Benny's anyway, so it's not like that wouldn't be a problem, but but that raft will, I don't know, man. Oh my god, I don't want a paddleboard, bro. That's gonna be a fucking... Fuck. I have the kayak, but I never even get to use it. Lol. Because everyone else is using it. They have a main paddle board and then a backup paddle board. So that means that me and Marcus are gonna be splitting those paddle boards. Well, Logan has his too, so I could probably use his as well. But wait, there is an inner tube. I could be tethered on somebody and just have an inner tube. Just say fuck it. And it sounds like another person may or not be added. There's a phone call that happened. I don't know what's up with that. Well, yep, it sounds like. Damn, he's cleaning up. I don't even know if Harley is doing that German trip, but maybe, I don't know. Inner tube could work. Well, yeah, because one of Logan's friends left the inner tubes in his car, so we have him over here. Germany trip was Robloxed. I kind of figured. I knew that was going to happen. Wait, so even Tyler's not going? I knew it. Honestly, I kind of figured. Not gonna lie, I kind of figured on that. Especially with, like, how things are right now. Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of these bands, I know why he wants to go because Running Wild is like their final tour and this and that. But the thing is, though, like, it's not uncommon for bands to be like, this is our last tour, and then like a couple years later, like, all right, we're doing one more. I mean, Sepultura's been doing that a little bit, like, off and on for like the last 2 or 3 years now. Like, I mean, I've seen them live twice on their supposed, like, yeah, this is our last tour. Like, I mean, hence why I went to see them both times, because I thought it was the last time. Now it sounds like they actually are about to wrap it up, but watch it like another year or two later. They're like, all right, one more, guys. Who knows? I mean, even fucking Rush, bro, they're doing a tour again after we're like, this is our last one. Oh, well, hey, I guess we're doing now after all these years. We're back doing another tour. It's like, I mean, it's not that uncommon for bands to do shit like this. I mean, I'm just saying. Running Wild, might not necessarily tour in the U.S., but they might, tour in Vodkin and, do European tours again, shit, you know what I mean? More like local stuff or regional shit, but... And honestly, in a weird way, he might actually be able to afford that more so than trying to go to Vodkin. Everyone just assumed it was. Well... I don't know. I mean, I guess just everyone did, but maybe it was just because the way they named it. I don't know. I just assumed it. I'll admit, I assumed it was. That's why I was always butthurt, because I was like, I never saw him live, damn it. Yo, I honestly need to look into about, like, what the average price is for, some stuff is in Vancouver around for like hotel / the tickets, because I do kind of want to try to do that Vancouver trip. Hilariously, Tyler never communicated to Harley about the Germany trip attempt. Harley was all shocked when I asked the two of them about it. So Tyler just on a whim just thought he would just want to do that for him, just for the fuck of it. Oh my god, Tyler, what? I knew it. Dude, what did I say when you first brought it up to me? I know the communication and how, like, dude, Tyler's never done this. It's not going to be good. I know the structure and how, I already knew it was going to be bad from the start. I mean, I figured the affordability factor was one of the major things, especially for Harley, bro. Like, I was like, whoa, what? That alone, dude, you're gonna be like kind of a broke bitch for a minute if you're doing that trip, dog. Like, what do you do? What? I don't know how much he has in the bank, but I'm just saying, like, that's gonna cost a lot more than he expects. And I guess he figured that out and decided to, backtrack on it, which is good, but Jesus, dude. Dude, if I've assumed that Harley knew when you mentioned it to me. I think Tyler's planning to pay for Harley until Tyler realizes can't afford it. But Harley needs to have a passport to do this, though. And what did he just not? I mean, what? I don't know, bro. It's a little. I'm not gonna lie, bro. A little bit of a dumb moment on his part. I mean, I'll talk to him too. Be like, yo, bro. I was in the background, heard everything about this whole attempt of yours, and bro, you literally pretty much made all the mistakes. Like even me, like even though I wasn't like the architect of the Iceland trip, I still did research on my own part, just on the virtue of like I'm going to another country. I want to at least know what I'm getting into, like and prices and this and that. Like I at least did some level of research and like how much Icelandic do I need to know? Luckily, not really. But at least you probably want to know enough just on the virtue of like maybe someone doesn't know as much English, even though English is like a second language taught there. So it's like it's just one of those things where there's certain things you expect, and you gotta learn that shit. It's like the whole old school trope of like do as the Romans do, when in Rome, right? That's I asked Tyler and Harley if it was still happening. Harley was like, what? And Tyler was like, oh, yeah, I signed on to do it. Well, I'm saying as someone who's, on my own, I mean, you have too, but it's just like, yo, y'all, like, at least Tyler really especially needs to, like, there's, like, certain things you just got to do first before you really honestly even commit to it. That's why even at least with Vancouver trip, it's still something I want to do. It's not confirmed yet. Like, because, yeah, maybe I'll decide the same thing. Be like, yeah, it's pushing it when it comes to the affordability. Maybe I could probably do it. But, I mean, uh, you know, I mean, I'm just taking it one step at a time with everything I'm doing in my life anyway, as it is right now. Like, I'm going to look into that a little bit more closer to the date, which I don't know. I guess in a weird way, maybe I should just jump on that, because of like fuel prices, straight Hormuz, shit like that, the economy. Like, if I wait, it's gonna get fucked, right? Like, so I don't know. That's one thing I guess I'll have to at least just investigate. But oh my, I don't know that one. I think I'm just gonna have to just take the L and just wait, and just see what it looks like later down the line. I got a few other things I want to at least try to deal with first. Mostly a business bullshit anyway, because it's just like a lot of the other stuff that should be simple is not so simple right now. I won't get into it, but it's just like, oh my god, I'm just like, motherfucker. I want to go back to Vancouver someday. I have no idea when. Well, shit. I guess if it wasn't, I'd say Double Dip Rush maybe with me, but I already know that you're probably like, nah. I mean, shit, you don't even have to see Rush to do that. You could just hang out in Vancouver and just do whatever the fuck while I see him. I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, it's a possibility, like, for me at least, it's still on the table, so I don't know. Part of me depends if it ends up going to San Francisco, if Logan ends up wanting to go on a trip or not. Well, I know. Well, it sounds like the Chicago trip for this year's a bust. So, and I don't. I think for a trip somewhere still on the table, Vancouver, BC hypothetically could work. You still need a passport to go to Canada, though, right? Or as it, in America, like because I know Canada's a little like chill about it, so. I'm pretty sure you do still, like, because it's a fucking another country, and everything, duh. But, like, I know Canada's pretty laissez about it. Yeah, Vancouver would be out. Yeah, I figured. Well, I know he's going to get one. And honestly, at this point, I think it's just about getting the process done. He's in the middle of dealing with it. It's just not on the top of the priority list. I know that much from what, we've talked about. But it's definitely somewhere on his list of things for sure. One more time.
Abstemious.
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 Epstein list.
What about
Epstein list? Schindler list? Stephen A. Smith list? A list? Center?
All right.
Shine bright like a diamond.
Where are the beans? Where are thy beans? Jesse Bean. Where is Jesse Bean? It's Jesse Bean. Jesse. Jesse Bean. Vito Bean. Hi, Vito Bean. Vito Bean. Jesse Chunk Master Chunk. God Almighty. Jazzy.
God old doggy.
Jazzy
Dog
up.
almighty.
Jazzy Chunk. Are you feeling better now? Because you literally puked literally everywhere besides my room.
God is a dog.
Jazzy, are you feeling better now that you puked pretty much everywhere besides my room? You
Puked on my shoes. Puked
in your
under my bed.
by the
on the side of
piano,
my bed.
on the hardwood floors,
the
in
hardwood
your
floor.
dog bed, in the bathroom. You literally like went fucking. It's like that. Like
I've never seen her throw up that much besides when she was a puppy, dude. I've never.
What did you get into that caused this?
Fucking, she's having normal shits now. She's
I mean,
fine.
you're fine now.
But that was a few days.
Yeah, like what the hell? And you almost did it in Logan's room, and I didn't even notice the other moment of chaos that you inflicted. I just saw you, and I was like, oh, hell no, you're not putting whatever you're throwing out, on the carpet. I got her on the hardwood in just in time, so it was easy to clean, but I was just like, God damn, girl. Luckily, it wasn't that much because she probably just puked it all out everywhere throughout the house. This poor little chunk. Poor Bean. I am not Russian. Does I look like Soviet flag, bitch? Are you jelly, Vito? Are you jelly boy? Plus, I don't know if you're lemon yet. I think it's 2020 when his record resets. Yeah, that's true too. Well, I will say it would just be kind of a bit of a bummer to just be in Vancouver on my own. But, I guess it would just be more of the fun of it because I could just literally, all right, I don't even have to necessarily pick a location. Maybe I'll be like, oh, check this museum out. That's like a mile that way. But I'm like, I'm going to take a scenic route and just check out some spots and just slowly but surely kind of hitchhike my way over there and shit. You know what I mean? That's
everything good. Rivers of pestilent filth were poured out on our heads.
The reflecting pool of the White House has now become nothing but the swamp itself.
Redcoats aren't there. You're coming.
They're coming down to try to protect our swamp. Oh my God. Vito's like, Vito. Oh shit. Vito! Damn, Vito! Okay, they got activated. Go, Vito! 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 Vito, you get over here. Vito!
There's absolutely nothing going on.
Big old Vito. like weirdly, just like all right, just chilling. He's just like, yes, I love this. He's so crazy. How is that like something that you enjoy? Look at that happy face. What is with you? That happy derp face. What is wrong with you? You goof. Bo. Chump. Nah, he's just being happy derp boy. He's just being happy. Look at him.
He's happy, but he also that's like, I think I can take a shit. He's happy, boy.
Yes, you wish.
It is probably about that time for that late night take a shit. I walked him really early today, remember?
That's true.
They haven't been walking like hours and hours.
Bang.
I ran him at the park, and I took him to Mama's house, too.
Oh, well, you had all sorts of adventure time. All that adventure time. Oh, my goodness. Big old chunk master booty roof. The bane. Oh, well, yeah, he got activated. They're here. What are you doing under there, Jazzy?
Did you take dogs for lunch? I put all dishes away and then finished the other ones. That deal? Cool.
Now, what time is it anyway? Yeah, we could do a little bit of that here in a minute. Maybe I could kind of do like a early pregame a little bit, just like get my supply too. Make sure I have it for tomorrow. I'll at least wait until my bird's done. They also do kind of like being funk. And they probably would prefer, doing the business of all the heat.
Little boy.
He's just a happy little doge right now. Here. Let's look at his little bang. Fido! What, you camera shy? Big old boy. Fido. Big old goober. Big old goober bean boy. Just a good boy. Are we just a boy?
Oh, you stretchy boy. Wah.
Oh, my lord. Sounds like guys are breaking the condition. Yeah, a little bit. At least with Vito, because he needs to know his dirty place. Plus, it's been kind of like, a good old business day a little bit. Just clean, a little organization. It's a laundry kind of situation. And then, then dogger walks. All that shit. All sorts of good stuff. I'll say, man, it's fucking heat. Ugh. I'm just ready for it to be done. Summer's barely started, and it's just... I'm just happy for the kayaking shit tomorrow. Which means Wednesday I'm gonna have kind of a little pseudo mixed day where I'm gonna be like do another mama visit and then probably picking up a shift at least for a couple hours, just on the virtue of picking up some for my day off on Saturday for Loud and Lit. So I'm just like, that's gonna be fun. I'm gonna need certainly absolutely need a coffee for that one. I'm thinking I'd be like, yo, 5 to midnight. I help with like, predominant lobby stuff, help pre-close stuff for you. Yeah, I'm coming to Loud and Lit. I still need to figure out a bike situation though. So I'm thinking that day maybe I'll probably at least meet you. Because don't you got a spare for a bike? Because I know you had one, didn't you? I know you used to. Because that's my main thing. I'm gonna have to figure that one out. Oh yeah, it's definitely gonna be sick as fuck for sure. It's just, but I just need to figure that out. I mean, Throw a bike with drop bars. That's fine. I mean, honestly, that'll be okay. I'll deal with that. I mean, I will say, I mean, it's not my favorite, but I can handle it. I just will admit it will be kind of hard to try to like have a beer or stream or some other stuff. Oh wait, maybe I could do a stream. Maybe I could possibly find a last second like little bike phone attachment thing. Or unless you got one. I mean, because I'll be like, that actually would be really nice to have. So then I can maybe do a stream and then just put it on that. And then I could just like hold on to it, just kind of casually ride and chill, just do my thing. Shit, dude, Lalo is gonna be dope, bro. Yeah, I need something. Yeah, well, hey, I will say this. Maybe I can at least stream the intermittent parts. You know what? The Lloyd Center parking lot, I'll do it there. I'll do it there, like, because frankly, that is literally going to be the last time that that's going to be there and all that shit. Like, we got to make, like, kind of a little wake, bro. Not even joking. Lloyd Center parking lot wake. Dude, you gotta just love Loud and Lit, though. It's true partner shit right there, bro. By the way, Inky, are you thinking about trying to go to that? Because if so, you should totally do it. And try to find me. Not even joking. You know what I look like. If you happen to be partaking, if you have time, you should try to find me. It's like a Where's Waldo situation. The Void Center. Yeah, the Lloyd became the Void Center, unfortunately. That is true. Poor old Lloyd. At least, what the whole broader project that they're going to do with it is actually generally really good, and I like it, and I think it's nice, so I'm not really against it. At least it's going to be revived kind of like a phoenix, you know what I mean? Unless I move it because I just want to get the fuck out of there forever. I feel ya. Damn. Well, I mean, you could potentially, like, just hang out at one of the party spots, because there's a bunch of them. So that's something you could do. That's a possibility. I forgot exactly. It ends on the waterfront somewhere. I know that much. I just forget exactly where on the waterfront it ends specifically, but you could at least just hang out there, like, a little bit before, the party officially shows up. Because chances are there's like other mutual little small bike rides that are going to be there that show up a little earlier before the Loud and Lit bike ride happens. So, I mean, chances are if you showed up like 30 minutes early, you probably might see like a little party going on. And I guarantee you that's where Loud and Lit might happen. It might not end on the waterfront. They haven't announced the end spot yet. Huh. I figured they would have done that by now. It'll go to Lloyd though. Do you know kind of approximately what time? I mean, because I know the ride starts at like, the official like meetup is at 7, and then the ride starts at 8, and then it's like what from there? It's no idea on time. Well, yeah, it kind of varies a little bit, but what isn't it approximately like about like 30? That's the wrong ride. Well, I don't know. I'm just trying to think about. Well, I'm just trying to think about approximate time frames. You know, like, I mean, when does it like? When's the ride like roll out? Oh, the ride. Okay, so the official meet is at 9, and the ride is at 9:30. Well, I mean, I will say, dude, the ride usually is meet is sooner than that normally because there's already like kind of a party thing going on and shit. Like, it's usually like kind of an hour before because there's already a bunch of people there. So, okay. Well, either way, that's good to know. I don't know why my fucking manager took me off on Saturday because I literally specified just make me a morning shift dude that day. But I find it hilarious that you and Marcus both found this same wrong ride for the start times. Hey, whatever. You know what? Well, that's how they normally start, though. Loud and Lit, I guess, is a little later because other bike rides usually start and then meet with Loud and Lit, and then that's when it happens. And some of the other later ones meet at other locations like the Lloyd Center area or wherever they end up at. You know, shit like that. I mean, it's Petapalooza. Like, you know, outside of Loud and Lit, there's all sorts of other little shit going on, too. It is super late night rides that happen occasionally. Big boof. You know, I think I have Marcus's Telegram still. I should probably hit him up and be like, does he have a spare bike too? That isn't like a road bike? Probably not. Nah. I'll just keep yours. It's just that, like, Logan has a flat tire on his and he needs to get that replaced. And arguably, maybe the rim too. Because when I found out, it was because, like, when I bumped, you know, slightly on a little pothole, it literally sounded like it was on the rim. I'm just like, fuck. Think quit Telegram, but you could try. Oh, did he? Yeah, he kind of weirdly had like a kind of a crash out and then just like kind of did from Telegram pretty much. And over like, I don't want to get into it, but over kind of like low key kind of dumb shit though. I will admit. I will say though, you know, it's whatever. Bygones are bygones. Who gives a shit? Big boy. Shoot, shoot, boy. Especially if it's a 700cc bike. Yeah. Though I'm wondering if maybe the actual like rubber of the tire itself is probably fucked up. Where maybe there's like a hole in the tread, so it's more likely for the tube to burst and leak. Because I remember this being a problem with that bike, you know, on the front tire specifically, and he replaced the tubing, but now it's the same problem. So I'm like, yeah. Honestly, because when I found out myself, it was really just a quick little trip just to grab a couple of beers for me and Logan while we were doing our cookout. Now it's just like, I just didn't have time to, and really just didn't want to, like, you know, inspect it too hard. But outside, just like, I will lift it up a little bit and just walk it at this point. And luckily, there was a bus that came up, you know, right outside of the, you know, store. So I was like, I'm just going to plop it on there and just take it, you know, somewhat the rest of the way instead of walking that shit because I don't want to fuck up that, you know, rim and shit, you know what I mean? But yeah, I'm just gonna, it just needs to be inspected. I think the rim might be okay. I mean, because it's like near the actual like air valve spot where it has like this little kind of little thing when I roll on it fast enough. If I'm just like kind of casually rolling on it or even sitting on it. So I'm wondering if there's maybe a slight dent there. You know, but I don't know. And if it is the case, I don't necessarily think that's like the end of the world if it's just a tiny one there. Because if you replace the tread and then the tube itself, then it should be okay. So honestly, I think it just might be the tread because I know the tube has been replaced before. So I'm thinking it might generally just be like the tread. And I think about it. That's just my at least initial like broader diagnosis. But I'll definitely have to expect it just to make sure though. But either way, replacing shit like that's not that hard. I mean, shit, arguably it's one of the more easier things to replace on a bike. And, it's also one of the more likely to wear down the most, so you want it to be at least easily replaceable. Have that loaded for the last little bit here in a minute. Well, then kill the last little bit of this beer. Then these beans have a little fun. Wah time. Yeah. Then after that, I hustle for my supply. You just a sweet boy, aren't you? You just a good old boy. That's good, my boy though. He wouldn't be going nuts like you are. He would just literally be curled up in a ball, sleeping like a kitty. I know how he is. You're just constantly active. You got that ADHD brain. You happy boy. You ready for it, sir? You ready for it? Yeah. Look at those ears. Oh my goodness, that boy. Yes, you is. Look at that happy face. Yes, you are. Aren't you? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Been minutes. It hasn't even been a minute. But you do want Unc. You want Unc to have adventure. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, boy. It's your fucking little silly face, bro. Cool profile pic. Thanks. Funny enough, that's really just like me on the river from the last time I was kayaking, and I was just like, you know what, Gemini, make me my husky persona, and kind of like I used my old profile pic as like a base, and it actually worked pretty well outside of a few things, and I try to edit it as close as possible, but the PFP I have now is about as close as it got. I'm definitely. I still have that artwork that I have my original PFP from, so I'm gonna at least get that over here at some point because it's still on my wall in my old room at my old house. So I just need to go over there and get it. If anything, I want to get it laminated, and if anything, like digitalize it, like put on one of those like printers where you can digitalize that bitch and make it like an actual file and shit. So I can actually maybe like overlap and whatchamacallit, fucking digitally like kind of draw over it for my old art. Change my profile pic. Oh shit. Oh okay. Oh, so it says. All right, I think I know. Oh, it's Stony, right? If that's the case, here I'll just by proxy just do that. If it's who I think it is. But yeah, eventually I'll get the old one back a little bit, but I might, if anything, like at least in some way try to trace over it and try to kind of like better it, eventually. At some point. Lonely Stonesome. At least I'm pretty sure. I'm like 95% sure. But unfortunately, though, I'm going to kill the last little bit of this and wrap it up all in all. Just so I can get these little beans walked. But we will. Got from Tennessee. I had an orange profile for 8 strange things. Oh, I gotcha. Oh, you switched it up a little bit. All right, I see. You know what? You're chill enough. I don't give a fuck. Just add more specters, just for the fuck of it. My bad, lol. Nah, you're good. Who gives a fuck? I know who you is. Thanks, bro. Lol. Well, might as well. I'm in a good mood anyway. But unfortunately, I do have to wrap it up a little bit. Give these little dogs a walk. But I will stream at some point for the kayaking trip. I just don't know how I'm gonna fucking deal with that because I kind of ish have a wet bag, but I need like a really straight up full on wet bag so I can make sure my shit's all like safe. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause there will definitely be some rapids, and I don't need my phone getting fucked up. I had experiences before. It's never good. But anyway, that being said, though, peace the fuck out, and we'll see y'all on the next one. Hopefully on the river. But toodaloo until then.